Okay, this is just a real quick down and dirty documentation of the my 300 RUM. It wasn't allowing rounds to. I couldn't load round. It go to about here. If I really mashed on it, I could get it to close, but that obviously isn't a good thing. Even went to all kinds of extremes of checking just how far down the neck I was going to have to trim in order to get to load, and just nothing was happening. On Uncle Jim's show a couple weeks ago, they suggested I may have a pretty severe carbon ring in there, even though when I bore scoped it, I didn't see anything apparent. So between scrubbing it, hitting it with brass brushes, and I even used the JB paste that both Uncle Jim, Kyle, and Thorzak, and a bunch of people suggested. Well, finally got to the point where there we go. Well, she's actually working. Well, if I don't. Okay. So now she's working pretty good. So I'm going to get a scope mounted up on it real quick and get out to the range and get it at least zeroed and see how many rounds I can fire before the carbon ring develops again. So this problem child might become even more of a problem child. But if I can get it up and running and working correctly, again, and it's an accurate rifle, I'm just starting to have to deal with that carbon ring, which is a new development. So far in this 1 year project, I'm only 8 years in. Now I'm using the Discovery Optics Discovery Optics 1.26 inch, so that'd be a medium ring, medium high ring. They seem to be a good ring. They're inexpensive. They're Chinese made, so I don't know what your opinion about that, but most of the rings I have are made in China anyway, so price wise, they're very reasonable. They're about $40 when it's all said and done. And their big selling point is they have a stud right there that fits into the ring. It helps keep it centered and in position while you're tightening it down. So it gives you one little extra precision. And they also lap their rings before they ship them. So that's a nice advantage also, as long as they do a good job at it, obviously. But they also put some kind of coating on there that I'm sure it's just a protector of some sort. And so I like to wipe it off and have it being actual metal to metal, and then once I determine exactly where I want them, I'll torque those down to, I believe it's 30 inch-pounds. Go from there. Okay, I mounted it, have some pretty good eye relief there. So I'm going to do this the lazy man's way of getting the scope level. What I'm going to do is using the wedge system. So even though the rifle isn't square to the vise, to the bench, what the wedge system allows you to do is if you have a usable flat spot on the scope, you can, you have to make sure you're on the scope and not on the, there we go, that's a little better. Okay, in theory, so far the few times I've used this system, it's done a pretty good job. Even if the rifle is canted somehow, the scope should be square to the rail, and in theory that means everything should be in the proper position. Now the only bad thing about using this particular system is, okay, for right now I'm going to torque that way over torque. I don't want anything to move. Okay, this time it came out pretty good. They call for a 20 inch-pound of torque.
Yep. 100 yards, 300 RUM, getting it zeroed in. Okay, 200 yards. There's my zero, or my hold point. 4 rounds, looks good.